Hey, what's up, neighborhood youth? Christina here. Welcome to week 3 of our Youth Online. I know it's a little bit different than how we normally do things, but we're so glad to have you guys here with us. I just wanted to encourage you guys to continue to stay connected with us on Instagram. That way you can see when our next Zoom crew is, when we're doing our next Netflix movie night and Minecraft. So just wanted you guys to know I miss you guys so much. I love you guys. I'm constantly praying for you guys, and I cannot wait to see you guys soon.
I am weary from the waves crashing over every day. God of mercy, please come rescue me. I am longing for your voice, your gentle whisper in the noise. Father, tell me everything's alright. Yeah, your power, your presence breaks strongholds. King of heaven, when you speak, mountains move. I believe there will be breakthrough. Oh, yes, there will be breakthrough. You alone can take my scars and piece by piece restore my heart. Take what's broken, make it whole again. Your power, your presence breaks strongholds. King of heaven, when you speak, mountains move. I believe there will be breakthrough. Yeah. There will be breakthrough. Yeah. Shake the mountains, break the walls apart, open the heavens. Almighty God, you are overcomer, defender of my heart. By your power, the oceans open wide, your fire falls down, heaven and earth collide. King Jesus, forever by my side. Shake the mountains, break the walls apart, open the heavens. Almighty God, you are overcomer, defender of my heart. By your power, the oceans open wide, your fire falls down, heaven and earth collide. King Jesus, forever by my side. Shake the mountains, yeah. Shake the mountains, break the walls apart, open the heavens. Almighty God, you are overcomer, defender of my heart. Your power, your power, your power. The oceans open wide, your fire falls down, heaven and earth collide. King Jesus, forever by my side. Yeah. Your
Well, hey everyone, thank you for checking this video out before Zoom cruise. My name is Micah, if we haven't met yet, and what this is a short teaching video meant to open up conversation for you and your small group that's meeting online, your Zoom crew. If you're new with us today, feel free to DM us on Instagram and we can get you set up with the Zoom crew that's for you. But today for you guys, I want to keep it simple. I just have 3 big questions for you and 1 important invitation for you for how we can all be going through life well right now together in these weird times. And so just to dive right in, my first question is this. First, what has your story intake been for the past few weeks? See, all day, every day, we are taking in stories, right? We consume stories more, actually, than we consume food. So TV shows, movies, commercials, every social media profile and advertisement you see, every person you interact with, right? Every story you take in that you consume shapes you into a specific kind of person. It's just like food, actually. When you consume food, it nourishes your body, for better or for worse, right? Whether you're eating Skittles or a salad, it nourishes your body, and it actually becomes, the material from the food becomes the cells and physical matter of your body, right? Some of these nutrients you consume even become the chemicals that determine your emotions and your mental health. So in a way, your whole being, physical, emotional, mental, is shaped by the food that you consume. And it's the same with the stories that you consume. When, for example, when you're watching a show or a movie that just mocks everything and portrays sex as not that big a thing, then you're gonna tend to think it's okay to just make fun of everything and nothing is really worth respecting, and my sexuality, it can just have a mindset of whatever, it's not that big a deal. Or when you're scrolling through Instagram and everyone is trying to pose like a model wearing as little as possible, and people are commenting things like, "You're so beautiful," or "Ugh, cute," or other things that I'm not going to repeat, then you're going to tend to feel like you don't look that good, or that people don't think you're as valuable as that person, or you're going to try and compete with them and one-up them, or you're going to start to think maybe that who you are is not good enough. Or when you're, maybe another story could be when you're in another argument with a family member and you've been getting on each other's nerves for the past 4 weeks, and you're going to start to believe like, man, my life sucks. And you're going to start to believe that the people around you are more against you than for you. You might feel isolated and alone. You might start to believe that maybe the best thing is to get away from people, over even drawing closer to people and having deeper relationships with people. Those stories could start to take over. So, what has your story intake been for the past few weeks? Because the stories that we consume shape us. See, Paul, in the letter that he wrote to the church in Rome, said this. And this is Romans 12, verse 2. And he says, "Do not conform any longer to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, his good, pleasing, and perfect will." You see, guys, the patterns, the stories of this world that surround us, that we are constantly taking in, they have power to conform us, right? But rather than just being formed accidentally, as you just take in whatever story is in front of you, which is kind of like just eating whatever is the closest rather than eating what actually tastes the best or is actually good to eat, right? You can choose, instead of just taking whatever story is nearest, you can choose instead to renew your mind, to be transformed by taking in a good story that shapes us into being good people. When we know God's, like the verse says, God's good, pleasing, and perfect will, when we realize the amazing, epic story that he is writing and carrying out, we will want to be a part of that. Which leads into my second question. If you realize that your life, your story, was part of a huge, epic story that is going on in the world and changing the world, how would you change the way you live? Like, let's say one of your parents walks in the room and you're on the couch watching Netflix and they say to you, so, I've kept this a secret because it's a high-profile information thing, but my job is actually different than you think it is. I'm actually the leading researcher in working on a vaccine for coronavirus, and I think we've got it figured out, but I need your help in the lab making more of the vaccine and shipping it out as fast as possible for solving this global crisis that's killing thousands of people and it's shutting down the entire world. If your parent came to you and said that, and if that was true, what would your reaction be? Would you be like, nah, I'm good. I'm watching through The Office again, and I'm really noticing a lot of funny details that I missed out the other times I watched it. It's actually been really great. Can you get someone else to do that important, like, life-saving stuff? Like, this is more important to me right now. Or would you be like, whoa, I had no idea something so important was going on right here, right now. Yeah, I'm definitely in to help protect and save the whole world. This could go down in history and in my life story as maybe the most important thing I ever did. So guys, the awesome reality for all of us is that when we wake up to realize that our little life story is actually an incredibly important story because it is a storyline within God's huge, epic story to make all things right in the world, then all of a sudden, we have an option to say yes to living into the epic story of God. Or we can live as if God's story isn't happening and our boring little story is all that there is. This is the option that we have to renew our minds, to change the way we look at the world, to be transformed by God's epic story rather than be conformed by whatever stories I just happen to stumble across on my phone or TV or whoever I happen to meet in life. Here's my third question. Who are the people you can be going through your story with? No one wants to do this alone. Even extreme introverts right now are realizing that they really miss people. Right? Human beings are wired for relationship, not to fly solo through life. So, who is going to support you if you choose to live into the epic story of God that transforms us? Who is going to support you if you choose to not be conformed by the patterns and stories of this world? Those stories are mostly designed to take advantage of you and break you down anyways. So who is going to help you be built up instead? Who do you have a relationship with? Whether you live near them, or just have their phone number, or you follow them on Instagram, or you're in the same small group as them, how can our social distancing still be social and not just distant? How can we begin to see how important our story is and how important the other stories are that my story intersects with? So this is what we're going to be doing as a youth ministry. We're going to go through a mini-series of our own, kind of a little bit of a Netflix alternative. There's plenty of time and plenty of options on Netflix to just take in whatever stories are suggested to you by them. But here's my invitation. Join us as we, together, go through a mini-series we've put together created by the Bible Project that can build us up and shape us, renewing our mind and help us not just be conformed to the patterns and stories of this world. We're going to intake this good story, right? It's not just like Some Good News, with John Krasinski. Those are great videos, right? But this is even better good news that helps us realize we're actually living very important lives right now. And we're going to go through this story together. These will be a part of our daily Bible reading challenge Instagram stories each day. And most days there is actually a Bible Project video that we'll send out a link to. And every day there's a section in the Bible that we're going to read through together because that's the story that we want to be in together. We're going to be reading the writings of an ancient historian named Luke, who wrote the Gospel of Luke and the book of Acts in the New Testament. So this is the story of Jesus, it's the story of his followers, and it's the story of us still today. So, Check out our Instagram each day for our daily Bible reading challenge stories. You can also DM us on there if you want to get the link to register for Best Week Ever that's coming up this summer in late July. But for this mini-series going through Luke and Acts, this is what we will be getting a chance to talk about on Sundays as well. In our Zoom crews, these videos will be related to it, so get us all immersed in this story together, like we're all going through a series together. And I want to invite you to journey with us as we intake a better story, as we realize our story today is more important than we thought, and to do it together to support each other and grow our relationships with each other, even from a distance, through the story that we share. Thank you guys for watching this video. Love you guys, and I'll see you all in Zoom crews.